Hi, my name is Jeffrey Aban. I am the CEO and founder of Modern Comics. I was born and raised in the beautiful city of Accra, Ghana, West Africa. Um, I grew up in one of those African families where dad would not tolerate the idea of you choosing art as a career. Unfortunately for my dad, he had to contend with two of us because, as it turned out, my younger brother Jones was as equally talented as I was. And so here we were, two boys in the family, all geared towards a future in art. It wasn't very easy, but eventually my dad had to give up because we were not going to budge either. So we thank God it went that way. My love for comics started when we had the opportunity to go to live in India for 3 years. I remember walking through the market in India, and I saw a comic book store. So naturally, I went inside the store to see what they had. And when I got in the store, I was blown away, like literally blown away by the sheer volume of comics they had in there. The contents, the variety, it was amazing. I was like, yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be. I bought 3 comic books in a day. I quickly went home, and within an hour, I read all 3 comic books, and boom, that was it. I was hooked. I would then go on to reproduce every comic book I owned at the time. I'm talking about from the initial pencil artwork stage, inking, coloring, down to lettering, pretty much everything. It was exciting. I mean, those were the best moments of my life because I've loved drawing with a passion all my life. Back in Ghana, my fascination with superheroes would continue through my secondary and tertiary education. Around this time, I was beginning to become aware of the injustices and unfair treatment that was being meted out against black people. Decades of false representation through the machinery of mainstream media had tarnished the image of the image of the African to a very large extent. And so for me, that doesn't seem right because such imagery only fits into the notion of white is right. As far as I was concerned, being black is right too. And so at that time, I decided that I was going to do something about it. And that's when I decided to use my God-given talent to bring about the change that I felt and I still feel is very necessary. So my brother and myself quickly went to work, and we started to produce superheroes, which we intended to use as our modus operandi. My brother was very passionate about the environment, and so he came up with an environmental superhero called Mighty Joe. Very exciting. He understood the interrelationship between man's activities on the environment and its effect on man's very survival on the planet. And so Mighty Joe's responsibility would be to go out there and do battle with the environmental saboteurs, bring them to justice so that the environment can be preserved for posterity. Really cool stuff. I figured it would be nice to create a brand new breed of African superheroes who would go about doing what superheroes do best, that is saving lives. The reason for this is very simple. I believe that the moment young black boys and girls start to get access to such materials, it will begin to empower them and bring them to the realization that the ability to perform extraordinary feats to accomplish the impossible is not related or linked to the color of one's skin, race, or gender. Anybody and everybody can be a superhero. Also, to play my part in the fight for gender equality, I made sure I had a good balance between my male and female characters. Where we taking all this? Very simple. Each and every character I created are going to have their stand-alone graphic novels, their origin, etc. All this, however, is just going to be a precursor to something even more exciting, and that is I strategically created my superheroes from selected African countries. I created Akoben, Asantewa from Ghana, Ugo from neighboring Nigeria, Kahiga from Kenya, a guy called Congo with a K from the DRC, which is the Democratic Republic of Congo, Lesedi from South Africa, and finally Hasiba, whom I co-created with a friend of mine called Stephen Labi. Hasiba is an Egyptian Algerian, and so we have all these fine superheroes that are ready to go. What is going to happen is that each and every superhero, these superheroes, like I said earlier on, will be tackling domestic issues in their domestic countries of origin. But whilst they are doing that, a sudden threat will loom over the African continent. And so in order to preserve their ways of life and to defend what they hold dear on the continent, they will have to come together to form Africa's first great superhero group called the African Defenders. Now, these fine superheroes will be drawn into an epic battle with the greater evil that threatens to kill Africans and the continent. This is like nothing you've seen before from this side of the globe. It's going to be amazing, it's going to be exciting, and I hope that people would find it worth the while to come along on this journey of self-discovery and empowerment. Remember, until the lion learns to write, every story will glorify the hunter.
African Defenders! Ahu! Almadla! Awetu!
And I believe that the narrative to change the perception of the African is right here and right now. And who better to tell our stories than ourselves? There is a strong wind of change blowing across the African continent, and we at Modern Comics intend to take advantage of this wind of change to create a lasting impression on every African, both home and abroad. Also, we would like to create a generational change that will go a long way to repair some of the damages that has been done to us, but most especially to restore the pride that was swept from under our feet. I'm talking about our pride, the African pride. Ukumapima apimbeba, translated, kill 1,000 and 1,000 shall arise. The landscape of superheroes will never be the same again. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you around, and I hope you have fun watching this, and I hope you join us to make this dream a big reality. See you around.